Hello and welcome everybody to 1970. Do you remember 1970? I was not born. In 1970, April 13th, Apollo 13. A lot of 13s in there. Oxygen tank number 2 blows up. Pretty interesting. The Beatles disbanded. Stuff like that going on in 1970. However, Billy Casper won the Masters in 1970. Do you know that he won playing Gene Littler in an 18-hole playoff? Can you imagine being tied at the end of regulation and needing to play 18 more holes for a tiebreaker? My understanding is that's the last time that happened. So, very interesting. MacGregor comes out with this. WT1A, it's a laminate. A laminate wood from MacGregor. How do we all feel about that? Save it, because we're going to have a closer look, talk about some identifying features. It's easy to recognize, because it says it right here, WT1A. It has a 4-screw TIE Fighter aluminum sole plate, MacGregor over a dot line. Is that a weight port, that dot? I don't know. And then the wood number, in this case, 1 driver. You can see laminate face with an aluminum face insert, 5 screws and kind of a cross pattern. X marks the spot, hit it out of the screws. MT as your alignment line. You can see the aluminum showing on the top line as well. Absolutely lovely. As we spin around the skirt, you can see heel profile. You can see there is a, it's pinned. The shaft is pinned, but doesn't seem to go through the whole head. It is a laminate. And then we're going to spin around the skirt. You can see that, all painted black. Lovely, lovely MacGregor. So then we have some whipping, stepped shaft, up to my sticker to remind me of the year, and we have a Golf Pride Classic grip. Classic Golf Pride grip. This is really slick. I just barely peeled off the overgrip I put on it when I was hitting it on the range and in the simulator. So let's take this out on the range and see how it feels. MacGregor MT Tourney WT1A. Interesting time for MacGregor as they're moving away from solid persimmons. So a lot like MT Tourney, you know, they're moving to laminates. Why is that? People tell me different stories. They're running out of persimmon, but that's not true because Louisville came out with a bazillion persimmons in the 80s. So I don't know, competing with Wilson, costs, 70s, rough time for inflation, rough time for the US economy. So maybe they were just struggling. Don't know, maybe it was multifactorial. Compete with Wilson, persimmon's more expensive. I have no idea. The other interesting thing about this, looking down at it, is it has this aluminum face, which means weight forward, maybe a little bit, and low spin bombers, right? So very similar to today. You talk about reading like the MacGregor literature back then, they talk about that. They say with the weight forward, with an aluminum face, it saves energy, kind of, they're like, gives you more energy, which means, you know, in today's language, less spin converted to forward momentum. So, I mean, it's the idea of hitting long, low spin bombs isn't new to the TaylorMade slider or all the LS models from Ping and Callaway. And let's see what I can get out of this cool little head, an aluminum face. I mean, that felt as good as any persimmon I've ever, that felt good. Because you connect with the driver and it feels good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter like what it's made out of. I understand collectability and values, maybe not as much on a laminate, but interesting time, interesting era. That nice big bold MT is very big MacGregor branding. The other company that does that, that did that in our time today is Nike. Nike puts big, brash, bold branding on their crowns. Very akin to MacGregor here. That was a thin one. Now, low spin drivers are famously unforgiving, but not like that was just a bad hit. That was on me. Sometimes I miss these shots and I leave them in because I'm a real person. I'm not like some wizard. All right, let's try. Bounce back. It's fine. Let's go again. Yeah, so sometimes with shots, you can watch them like spin up. That one didn't. That one just went.
I'll hit some balls at the end. You'll see some data, only not a lot, just like 3 shots so you get an idea of what I can do with this, but it's a fun, interesting driver. And like all LS models, I'm not sure I'd have the swing speed for this. Let me know your thoughts and memories. Laminate, MacGregors, 70s, low spin drivers, aluminum faces. Excited to read all about it in the comments below.
This is not ideal. For starters, if you're an amateur like me who's just supposed to go out and hit some fun vintage clubs, maybe avoid this one. This one's kind of hard to hit. I need something bigger, more forgiving, I don't know, maybe not so weight forward, low spinning. I looked at the numbers on miss hits. It's not, it's okay. However, if you are a fast swinging, very precise pro who wants to show off a little bit and get max distance, this might be the club for you. And it's a laminate. And that brings us to the next discussion. So MacGregor is famous for their persimmons through the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. They're moving to laminates. Different reasons for that. You look online, people come up with these things. There was a dam that flooded the area where they were getting to old wood persimmon, and so they didn't have any old wood persimmon, and so they moved to laminate. That's one idea. Maybe just cost saving and competitiveness. Maybe persimmons were cracking. I've seen lots of persimmon woods with cracks right here on the neck. So maybe to avoid that, they wanted an offering like this. But how do we feel about that? I can tell you how I feel about it. I've hit a lot of laminates and a lot of persimmons. I can tell you I cannot tell a difference hitting a persimmon versus a laminate. I can't tell the difference. They both have that nice wooden sound, clack. They're both lovely. Like Ping made some lovely laminates. But there's that human aspect of it where you're like, the persimmons are just kind of better looking, in my opinion. It's like, ooh, that's pretty. I want that. So persimmons to me personally are more desirable from a collector standpoint, but when it goes to just going out and playing golf, does it really matter? Which the laminates come in, right? I have no problem playing a Wilson laminate. I've done it before. I played Walter Hagen laminates. You've seen it on this channel. Playing golf. So this particular one, I would not play because it's just hard to hit for me. Probably, I'm guessing, probably the weight forward design and my inaccuracy. But it's lovely. So if I were to play a set, I probably wouldn't play my more collectible MacGregors. I'd probably grab a MacGregor laminate from the 70s and just rock that. If I was going to play golf in anger. Is that the right word? Is that the right way to say it? So this particular one, no, but laminates are okay. Do I think that they should have stuck with persimmons? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know the real situation going on at MacGregor at the time. I know Louisville, whether it's through the 80s, made tons of persimmons. Whether it's old wood or new wood, does it really matter? I don't know. To me, it doesn't really matter. But to the longevity of the club, how easy they are to maintain and adjust. You hear stories about people talking about the old wood MacGregors from the 50s, how they're so easy to shave off different things, adjust the loft, and just work on. Or the new persimmons, whether it was more sapwood or whatever, I'm not sure. They said that the new wood persimmons were a little bit more finicky when it came to that. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. There's probably somebody who has a lot more experience working on persimmons watching this video than I personally have. I just do not have experience working on these clubs. And then there's always the laminates. So in the world of titanium and carbon fiber everywhere, and now aluminum housing for the carbon fiber and the titanium, we just forget that they were once made, woods were once made of wood. I'm interested to read your thoughts and comments. As usual, huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Another way you can support this channel is by visiting my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. Thank you everybody for your support and watching. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe. Stay tuned. We have a little bit of data here at the end. I am the Vintage Golfer.